Hello friends, I am Sahiti. This is a vehicle management system done in C language. So let us go through this vehicle management system with source code and output. Now if we think vehicle management system as a problem, then we need to first analyze the problem and then arrive at a solution. So our main aim is to first analyze the system and then how to go through it and then code it. First, in vehicle management system, we need to just take in the information of the vehicles that have entered into the campus. So it is create. So we are using create function to take in the information about the vehicles that are entering in the college, and then display to display the information whichever we have recorded, then append to add, remove data to remove entire data. Suppose if we have data for 2 months, then we don't want the previous month's data, then we definitely want to delete it. So we use remove data for deleting the previous month's date information. Number of records, like how many vehicles have entered into the college so far. So those are the things that are used in the vehicle management system to write the code. Search also, search the vehicle number, whether it has entered or not, whether it is in the campus or not, every information regarding it. Then update, like if we have entered something data wrong, then we want to update it, so we can update it. Like at the end of the day, how many vehicles have stayed in the campus, like they have not exited from the campus. So we can know all these by using this vehicle management system code.
So let us now take a look at code for vehicle management system. I'm using 4 things, which is standard input and output library, standard library, conio.h and string.h. As we know that for every C language we use standard input and output library. Then for strings, because I'm using 2 strings over here, which is over owner's name and to which department does the vehicle belong to, there I'm using 2 strings, so I've declared string.h also. Basically in this program we have taken 4 things, which is structures, functions, files and then loops. If you know 4 things, then this program is like a cakewalk. So let us go down to the code. Now first let us see the structure. For a vehicle I'm declaring a structure. The data types which I used are int, character, integer for vehicle number, character for name of the owner, and then another character for to which department does the vehicle belong to, and license number, definitely it will be a number, so I'm using integer. Then I'm using another structure to define the timings. So this is called nesting of structures. There are a structure inside a structure. This is called nesting of structures. Here I'm using for arrival and departure time. Since I want to take it for 2 times, arrival and departure time, I'm using a structure inside a structure. So you can also restrict yourself. If it is 1, then definitely you can directly declare in the main structure. So since I wanted to take 2 times, so I'm using another structure. If you want to use 3 also, you can use 4 also, so go on. It is your choice which you can use. I am restricting myself to 2, so I am using only 2. Then time and the difference between the arrival and departure time, which is also integer. The main thing to be noted over here is you use the time in 24-hour clock format. Like we can't use here for 12-hour clock format, because it will be difficult for us to do any operations like subtracting and all. So I'm restricting this program to only 24-hour clock format. So now we have completed the structure, like we defined the structure and all. When we move on with our code, now here as you can see I've declared a file pointer over here, because I wanted to use this for every function. So I'm declaring it in a global space. FP is the file pointer I used for declaring a file. Then as we move further, we have seen that we are doing the functions over here, declaring the functions. One is create. Create is used to create the records, number of records in the file, and we are taking the information of every vehicle into this file, vehicle.txt. This is the file which I'm using to store the information of the vehicles. So I'm also using calloc here, dynamic memory allocation, to store all the information about vehicles. Here I am using four loops for taking the information of every vehicle. I am iterating with I. Suppose if the vehicles I have entered are 2, then it will iterate 2 times. If it is 3, then it will iterate 3 times and store all the information. And you have to notice this, there is another for loop inside a for loop to take in the account of arrival and departure times. So I've used a for loop inside another for loop. Now when we have to first remember that the moment you open a file, then we need to definitely close it. So I'm closing inside a function, and then whole function I'm closing. Now when we move on further with another function, then this is display. This function is display. So the moment you create the file, you definitely need to see whatever is in the file. So I'm using this display function to display whatever is inside the file, the information and all. So I'm going through the same process, like opening the file, whichever I have stored it in create function. So it is vehicle.txt in a read mode. There I've opened the file in a write mode. Here I'm opening it in a read mode. So now I have to open it in a read mode. Then I will display all the like vehicle number, vehicle type, license and all. Then time also. Like the moment I opened, you have to always remember is to close. So I've closed again and again close the entire function. Now after display, we'll further move on with append. When we move with append, we'll have a variable here v for every vehicle, and nij same. You have to remember here that create and append are both alike. They're not different, but they are declared as two functions. Just create is to create the new file. Append is to just add information into that file. So that is a basic difference between create and append. You can just copy the create code and then paste it in the append function. So it is the same. So you don't need to worry about append like writing this big code. So now let's move on with another function, which is remove data. If we have 2 months data and we don't want the previous month's data, then definitely we need to delete it, right? So we are removing the data by using this remove data function. Entire data of that month will be deleted. Whatever we want, that vehicle text, vehicle.txt, whatever data is there in that, it will be deleted. So next, when we further move on with the number of records, like we want to know like how many vehicles have entered and exited. So total number of records, whatever you store in vehicle.txt file, it will be displayed in the number of records, like how many records completely, like how many have entered, how many have exited. Suppose you enter 5 vehicles, then it will show 5. If you have entered 6 or 7, so on, then it will show as many as you have entered. So it is just like adding like how many vehicles are there. Then search is just like display. The difference between search and display is you just can copy the display code and paste it over here, just adding if else loop. So here you need to just search for a vehicle which is having like particular number. Suppose you want a number vehicle to be searched, like 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the vehicle number and you want it to be searched. So if that vehicle is there in that vehicle information is there in the vehicle.txt file, then it will display the information of the it will display entire information about that vehicle. But if it is not there, it will display as record not found. So when we move, it is just like the display is for all vehicles, it will display all information. Here search only for one vehicle, it will display all information. Then when we move on with update is just somewhat like create. Update is only like you need to just change a particular vehicle's information. So you don't need to like change the entire thing. You just need to change one particular vehicle information. So you need to search for that vehicle number. It is like combination of search and create. So you need to search for that vehicle number and then update the information, like create. It's like create. You need just to copy the create and create code and then paste it over here. Then when we definitely here, only one thing to be noted is we are opening a temporary file because I wanted to store the updated information into temporary file, and whenever we wanted it to be displayed, I wanted to overlap this vehicle.txt file and temporary file and then display the information. So I'm creating a temporary file over here. So I'm closing two files, fp and fp1. fp1 is a temporary file. Then when we move further, like suppose if we search for a number, if we wanted to update like 2345 and that record is not there in the vehicle.txt file, then it will display as record not found. So we don't have any other option to update it. Definitely if record is not there, we cannot update it. And when we move on with the last function, that is void vehicle in campus. If we want to, our main aim of this vehicle management system is to know like how many vehicles are there in the campus. It will also display like if we have limited our time to be 6 hours. Like if the vehicle has stayed more than 6 hours, then it will bring to a notice of us, like it will display information completely about that vehicle. So if it has not left or if it has stayed for more than 6 hours, then it will display the information. If suppose all the vehicles have exited from the campus, then definitely it will show that all vehicles have left. Here if it is found, then it will show that information of that vehicle. If it is not found, then it will show that all vehicles have left the campus. So now coming to the main function of this program, which is int main. Then here I am declaring a variable integer s, which is used to do the choice, used to know our choice. Like we have here I am using a do while loop. So first I am creating this one create to display, like I'm just giving the information like what if we click this number, what will happen and all. So first we have to enter the choice. Suppose if we enter 1, then it will go into the switch case, and case 1, then go to create function and then process it whatever is required, and then break this switch statement. But if we do display 2, then it will go to display function. If we do 3, if we type 3, it will go into append function and so on. But if we type 0, it will exit from this do while loop. If we type 0, it will exit from do while loop and completely exit the program. So this is the code regarding vehicle management system. Let us move on to run our code. So I'm gonna run this code. I'm gonna switch the screen. So first is this create. So I'm gonna first type create. I want 1. So enter create. I want to enter 2 records. Enter. And vehicle number is 2345. Enter. Name of the owner is Sai. Enter. Then department to which he belongs to is CSE. And license number is 9876. Enter. Then arrival time is like early in the morning, 4 o'clock. Enter. Left the college at 6 o'clock. Enter. Then again is arrived at 12 o'clock. Enter. Then 1400. Enter. So second vehicle number is like 3456. Enter. The name of the owner is Sahiti. Enter. Then to department which it belongs to is ECE. Enter. License number is 6549. Enter. Arrival time is morning 9 o'clock. Then he's left the campus at 12 o'clock. Enter. Then again he arrived at 2 o'clock, which is 14. Then he's left the campus at 4 o'clock, which is 16. Enter. Then I want to display this data. So to display, enter. See, we've got the records which we have entered using create function. Now I want to append the data. That means I want to add. So I want to add like 4, 5, 6 number of records. I want to add as 1. Enter. Vehicle number is 4567. Enter. Name of the owner is Satya. Enter. Civil department the vehicle belongs to. License number is 7896. Enter. An arrival time is arrived college at early in the morning at 4 o'clock. Enter. Then left the college at 10 o'clock. Enter. Then again he arrived at 12 o'clock. Left the college at 10 o'clock. Now let us remove data last because I want to operate these data. I want to see how many records have been entered. So I'll type 5, enter. So number of records are 3. Then I want to search for a vehicle using vehicle number. So enter the vehicle number to be searched as 2345. Enter. Then SI, CSE department, and license number. It's stayed for 2 hours. Next I want to update like 7. Enter. Vehicle number to be updated. Let us update 2345. Enter. So 2345 again vehicle number is correct. Same number. Owner name is Sairam. Enter. Which belongs to CSE. License number is 7654. Enter. Arrival time is like he's arrived morning at 10 o'clock. And then departure time is 4 o'clock. Enter. Then he has not arrived for the second time. So 000. Enter. 0000. Enter. Now let us search for a record which is not. Now let us display the information. Okay, whether it has been updated or not. Yeah, they've been updated like Sairam CSE. Now let us search for a number which is not there in the file. So 6 search. I'll type some random number, say 5436. Enter. The record was not found. Then number of vehicles in the campus 8. So how many vehicles are there? Only 2 vehicles which stayed for more than 6 hours. Next. Now we'll remove the data 4. Enter. So the data has been deleted. Now if you want to exit from the program, so 0 for exiting. Enter. So exited. Now we'll see that 2 files have been formed like temp.txt and vehicle.txt. Okay, there are 3 people, Sairam, Sahiti and Satya. Okay, now let us exit this. Let us go to the main code. Yeah, we'll just go through the code once again. Like these are structures and these are the function structure where I've defined the data types. Then these are the functions and this is the main function which we have used like for the program.
Thank you for watching this video.